Hello and welcome to a day in the life. And this is a video where I want to show you things that help me out all throughout the day, from the moment I wake up to when I go to bed. So the first thing is when I wake up is I have this pillow that goes beneath my legs. And so you have to forgive my spasms. They are stiff as planks, my old legs, they are. They get very stiff in the morning. But when I'm on my side, this pillow keeps my legs from touching and sort of keeps my spine in alignment. And it's pretty handy. It was a gift from my lovely girlfriend who's behind the camera, and it was like around about 20 euros or something. So it's very, very cool. And it's got a little strap for your leg, so it doesn't come off in the night. So that's number one, very cool thing that helps me out. Another cool thing that helps me that doesn't cost anything is just a good stretch in the morning. My legs are very stiff, so I like to just give a good stretch in the morning. This is like a non-negotiable thing which I do every day for at least 10 minutes. There's a couple of different stretches that I do. This one I feels really nice. Just pull on my toes and try and loosen up my spasms. And another one I like to do, which is a bit silly, well, it kind of looks a bit silly, but I really like it, is this one. I lay on my back and I sort of spread out my legs like this. I know this is a bit of a compromising angle and it kind of looks a bit weird, but I really like this angle. It kind of releases my lower back and just feels really great. Stretches my adductors and everything. And then another one I really like is putting my legs like this and just stretching forward. This one's a really good one for the lower back as well. And I also like to do it out to the side and out to the other side. Very nice. The other thing that I like to do that helps me with my spasms is I have this massage gun, which was only 20 euros from Amazon, and it was remarkably good for the price, and I just use it like on my legs like this, and it really helps just relax the muscles. Kind of actually helps them tense up a little bit. I can tense them up and it kind of stops my legs from atrophying, because if I vibrate them, my legs fire up, the muscles fire up, so I can manipulate the spasms. I was actually quite skeptical that this was going to be any good for the price it was, but it's actually really good, and I would definitely highly recommend it. Just 20 bucks off Amazon. It's got different like knobs. It's got this one, which is a bit more like a microphone. Check, check, 1, 2. Another thing that helps me out every day is a little bit more embarrassing or a little bit more intimate, but I use these incontinence pads. Recently I've been experiencing a little bit more incontinence at night than I like. I went for so many years without having that issue, but these just slip in to your pants. They've got like an adhesive strip, and yeah, they just give me peace of mind. So, 9 times out of 10, nothing happens, and they're clean as a whistle. But every now and then, they do, they do work. But I would be careful. A little tip of mine is just make sure everything's tucked in, because if you get a little one of these, you get a little surprise in the night, and you're like, oh, for God's sake, it was stuck out the side. So yeah, make sure everything's tucked in. But yeah, that's another thing that helps me out. Moving on, I'm gonna get in my chair. My spasms are a little bit stiff. Make the transfer. I always put shoes on because I need to protect my feet. My feet are always like a little bit, especially when my legs are spazzy. I don't want to like kick anything and break a toe accidentally, so I always slip my shoes on when I get out of bed. Another thing that costs me nothing is just to make my bed. It feels like I've achieved something for the day, so always make my bed every day. Another little tip, a handy tip, is if you're going to the bathroom, which I normally go to in the morning, and you need to carry things and you don't have a tray on you, you can use just a shirt, just put it on your lap, and it kind of helps as a little cradle. So for example, I've got all my wee bags here from a night, and then the lids as well. So I need to carry all of this stuff to the bathroom to empty them, and it just acts as a little cradle to like carry stuff, and you can carry all the wee bags to the toilet. So if you're interested in how I transfer onto the toilet, I just put my legs in front of me here, and then I just grab hold of the radiator and the side of the toilet here, and I just transfer on like this. And a little handy tip which I learned is just to pull my wheelchair in between my legs. Because of my spasms, they like to close up, and this gives me access to the undercarriage quite easily. Sounds simple enough, but someone commented once that they had never seen that before, so I thought I'd include it in the video because it's a handy tip. And now I'll show you how I transfer off of the toilet. Same as before. Just like that. And now I'm going to put some clothes on.
I was going to say.
I know there's quite a few videos online of like how to put your trousers on as a paraplegic, but to be totally honest, I've never really seen people do it the way I do it, so I think it's worth showing you. But these are my joggers. I just kind of slip them on from sitting. A lot of paraplegics videos that I've seen online, people get on the bed and do it, but I don't. I just do it from my chair, whip the feet through the legs of the joggers. You can see my legs bouncing around. They always get a little bit active in the morning. So, and then this is the magic. This is where the magic happens, is I loop my thumb here and I just lift up on the wheels and just shift forward. And that took me ages to learn that. When I was in rehab, that took me so long, especially when you're taking your trousers off. If you're going to go to the toilet or do a catheter, you just do that. And when I figured out how to do that in rehab, I was thrilled. I was like, yes, that's the technique. So that's the technique that I use. I'm going to put some clothes on because I realize half this video I've been naked. But we can go to the next item on the list, which is something that's cost effective and really helps me out, is this weight bench. So this is how I make the transfer. I just grab hold of the seat here and swing in, and this is so nice. To be able to swing my arms around like this. It's just so nice, so good. It's so good for stretching. Obviously, if you have little weights, you can work out. And if you like a resistance bands, these are all like cheap or free things that you could use with this. But this particular piece of equipment is so nice. It's so comfortable to sit in. And I also do some stretches forward. So for example, I can stretch forward this way, which is really nice. And you can do sort of little yoga movements, little twisty stretches. And you can incorporate a whole little yoga routine. I feel like this is such a comfortable place to sit and chill, and especially when I'm out on the balcony, I can sunbathe. It's just so lovely and comfortable. and that's how I transfer off. So that's something I use every day, which is very handy. The other thing that I really like is my wearable device. It tracks my sleep, it tracks my activity, and it's just a cool thing that I like. And also it vibrates every 6 hours to remind me to take my meds. So it wakes me up in the morning. It means I can sleep without my phone next to my bed. I really like it, and it's cheap. The other thing that I really love, this is probably one of my favorite purchases of the year, is my robot vacuum cleaner, just down there. It is incredible. His name's Trevor the Second, and he just, with a touch of the button on my phone, he just sweeps the floor, and it's remarkably good. And we have a dog and a cat, and it's really good to get the cat and the dog hair. And it's an amazing purchase. And before I was just sweeping up like a chump, like a bloody Neanderthal with a, you know. And it was just, it's such an, it was 99 euros, but the return on investment is incredible. In fact, I do think it's pretty cheap for the price that you pay. You know, 100 euros or $100, and you get the, you know, you can go out. And when you come back, you just empty I love emptying it. You empty all the stuff and you're like, that used to be on the floor. Now it's in the bin and I was out of the house. It feels like you have a little robot maid, and it's really cool. So let's go to the kitchen for the next one. So another thing that helps me out every day, and it's cheap, is just my kitchen scales. It sounds really simple, but this with an app on my phone called MyFitnessPal. I've been tracking my macros and calories recently. So I've been trying to eat like 1,600 calories a day, and I did for like 60 days in a row. I lost like 5 kilos, and so yeah, just by weighing my food and putting it in the app and tracking those things, I've got like a big data set now, and I can see that I've eaten less, and my body fat's gone down, and I can get a lot of protein in. On that note, protein powder is definitely incredible. I have protein powder for breakfast every day. This new flavor that I've discovered, it's not a new flavor, but the chocolate smooth is so nice. Imagine after a meal and you're trying to eat healthy, but you've got that, I want dessert, I want something snacky. You have like hot milk with this. It tastes like a really indulgent, decadent hot chocolate. And yeah, it's like 150 calories and 35 grams of protein. It's absolutely amazing. Like that's definitely a cool little life hack if you want to get more protein and you want to lose weight. That's a really good one. So the other thing is my handy tray. I've got a few of these. I did mention this in the last one. If you don't know, I have a part 1 of cheap or free things that help me out every day. I'll link it in the description. But there's a whole video that I made already, and I'm trying to do things that aren't in that video, so it's a part 2. But if you haven't seen that one, then a tray is just incredible. It's such a great, handy, this is the essential thing that I absolutely love. Okay, so a few other things that really help me every day, and I use this every day. In fact, I would say if I were to order this list, this would be number 1. It's called a Cush Pocket, and it's just essentially a pocket that hangs off of the front of my wheelchair. It's got a magnetic pocket which I use to hold my wallet and my medication. In the zippy pocket at the back, it's rather large. It can hold many catheters, and that's where I keep my catheters. It just velcros to the base of the wheelchair, which is easily removable. It has a pretty handy handle, and you can just pull that straight off if you want to. This is actually a little sign that I put on my wheelchair for traveling, because it's just a nice little reminder for the staff, if they're going to handle your wheelchair in an airport, to just please be gentle with it. So I think that's like a free thing that you can put on your wheelchair. But the Cush Pocket is so good. It is like such an incredible pocket. I use it every day, multiple times a day, and I think it is definitely my number 1. Another thing that helps me out every day is my bag that hangs off the back. This is just a little Eastpak shoulder bag. And in this bag I keep a multi-tool, which can be really handy if you get into mischief, some rubber gloves, and just a few little spares that come in handy. So that is another thing that helps me, because when you're out and about, it's really cool to have this extra storage. So another thing that I find really valuable in my life is a chin-up bar, and not for the reason that you'd expect. Obviously it's great to stay in shape and exercise, but it's actually really nice to just hang. I find it really good for my shoulders. So I just lift myself up and I just hang like this. It's really good to just let the back click out, and it feels like there's such a release. It feels really, really nice. So I'd highly recommend it, and it's something that I do very often. So yeah, and obviously you can exercise as well, but it's a little bit of an advanced move. But yeah, that is another thing which I find very useful, and they are spasms are a bit spazzy today. Not very expensive, cost effective, job done. So another thing that helps me out most days, I swim 3 or 4 times a week, and I love it. The barrier to entry is really low, and the freedom from getting out of your chair and swimming, it's amazing. I spoke about it on the podcast recently, which is another free thing that you can listen to every day if you want. It's called Wheel Talk. It's on Spotify. There'll be a link in the description, and it's life from the perspective of wheelchair users. I do it every week with Brittany Noonzig from Empowered Para. So if you're into a free podcast, we live stream every Tuesday. But swimming is incredible. I absolutely love swimming, and it's cheap. In fact, a lot of places here in France, you go and it's free. They just let you in if you're in a wheelchair. So it's very cool. If you can't swim, get some swimming lessons. It's amazing. Couldn't speak highlier of it. I love it. Another thing I wanted to add is something a little bit more intimate, but it's my, I guess what you could call sex toy. I have 2 right here, and they basically help me ejaculate. Because of my spinal cord injury, it's difficult for me to ejaculate, so I have this one here. It vibrates, and you just put it on the end of your member, and it can help. If you want more detail, I can do a video about it. Just put that down in the comments. This one I bought, this was actually, so this one was 30 euros, remarkably. It's called Bed Geek. I can put a link in the description. It's very cost effective, and it vibrates really well. This one was like 150 euros, and it's a lot louder, and it vibrates more. Well, it's meant to be more powerful, but I can tell you, they both vibrate about the same. So you get more bang for your buck with this one. So I hope these tips were helpful, and I hope that it's handy me sharing these with you. The other thing I wanted to talk about before we leave is my gorgeous girlfriend. She's behind the camera, and you know, what's life without a little love? You know, she is incredible. She gives me love, cuddles, and the occasional piggyback. So thank you, my love. Thanks so much for filming this video. If you found this video useful, then please drop a like and put down in the comments any things that you feel helpful. So that's it. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching the video. I hope that it's helped.